It's been a lonely fight for opponents of legalized gambling. They lost in 2011 when the legislature authorized 3 resort-style casinos, and they lost again last year when Attorney General Martha Coakley rejected a ballot question seeking to overturn the law. But today, anti-casino activists got a big win when the Supreme Judicial Court ruled Coakley got it wrong. That means a repeal referendum will appear on the November ballot, and that puts a major wrench in a process already well underway. The 2011 gambling law allows the state to issue up to 4 licenses, including 1 slot parlor and 3 resort-style casinos, divided among Western Massachusetts, Greater Boston, and the Southeast. The law also created a 5-person commission, chaired by Stephen Crosby, to award the licenses. In February, Plainville Racecourse won the license for a slots parlor now under construction. The Western Massachusetts casino license was awarded to MGM Springfield earlier this month. The Greater Boston casino license will be issued this summer, either to Wynn Resorts in Everett or Mohegan Sun in Revere. The Southeast license is complicated. The Mashpee Wampanoags are seeking federal approval to open a tribal casino in Taunton, a process that could take years. That uncertainty has chilled interest from commercial developers. All right, here to discuss the ramifications of the SJC ruling is Scott Harshbarger. He is a vocal casino opponent and former Massachusetts Attorney General. Welcome back, Scott.
Thank you, Emily. Nice to be here.
So I know you're happy about this ruling,
right.
But are you surprised?
Well, when you're taking on such a powerful inside set of interests with the casino industry and all the support that they've had and the perception that this is inevitable, it's going to happen. We can't do anything about that because of Beacon Hill insiders, forgive the language, but that's the view I think we have. To have the Supreme Judicial Court, one of the major courts in the country, which, is independent, excellent quality, issue a powerful legal opinion that supports the right of the people to vote. You feel very good about that. It's a vindication for not only the lawyers who did yeoman work here, but for the hundreds of grassroots citizens around the state who have tried valiantly to oppose casinos and slots and been very successful. So this is a real
Our democratically elected legislature voted on this. Scott, you wouldn't have liked it if gay marriage went to a popular vote, and the city of Boston, that should have been a popular vote. I mean, that only East Boston and Revere got
that was
the
a part of the legislation, Emily. This was
No, it wasn't. I mean, that was the city council.
The legislation was, it said Ward 9 got the vote on that.
No, that was the city council.
But the Ward 9, the legislation said Ward 9 voted. Here's the point.
Well, we should have overturned that.
2 years ago, when Sal DeMacy was Speaker of the House, casinos were voted down by 100 votes. When he left and a new speaker came in, 100 votes changed, not because of the merits of casinos, because the governor had supported destination resorts, but simply because of a change in the speaker. Now, this is simply an opportunity which the people in Massachusetts have to have a right to vote. This doesn't mean we win. It just means that we have a chance to be heard, and the more people look at this policy, the more people see how flawed it is, we win.
I'm disputing you on the issue of who has a right to vote. Would you have liked it if gay marriage had gone to a popular vote?
No, well, it probably depends a lot on the issue. I think on this, no, but the issue does matter here. This is terribly flawed economic policy. Joe Curtatone today, for example, spoke at the press conference, and he talks about what he's done in Somerville to revitalize that city, long-term economic development. We look at healthcare, biotech, the education industry. That's what all our candidates talk about, the great opportunity. And what are we offering Springfield? A casino. What are we offering hard-hit areas? That's not long-term economic development, Emily. That's bad policy.
Springfield wants it, and they've already been granted it. If the voters say, you know what, we don't want casino gambling in Massachusetts, what are they going to do? Take the license away? Well, hasn't that horse left the barn?
They can't. Yes, it will be repealed. And let's remember, this is not. The question is why is it only Springfield voting when a whole region is affected? To think that the casino in Springfield, that we're going to get only people from Macau and to destination resorts, this is going to affect the entire region. And as many people have pointed out, this is going to affect people all over this state, and people have a right to. Why is it limited to one city? It is by definition an industry that affects a region.
Well,
it by definition has a problem. Well, they voted, but many other communities voted against it all over the state.
But they want it.
Well, I understand their concern, but I guess my position about that is it's sort of sad, frankly, that Springfield, the only thing that we're offering them as elected as leaders in this state is a casino, as opposed to look at the seaport, look at what we've done in various other areas with our, our high-tech, biotech, education investment, and look at everybody running for governor talks about the wonderful opportunities we're going to provide, the equality that we're going to offer everybody. But oh yeah, we're for casinos. Why? Because it's promised revenue, so they don't have to deal with that issue, and some jobs, when in fact the evidence, as you look at the Wall Street Journal just the other day,
I saw that.
Look at Northeast.
Economic
Every
bust.
promise that has been made by casinos has never been fulfilled. The state makes money, the owners of casinos make money.
And no one else.
But by and large, everybody else loses.
I want to show you a couple of recent polls we're taking. One was the Boston Globe asking people whether they support the casino law. It's scant support. It's down to about 52%, 41 opposed. Herald also did a poll, but they took the undecided people out, so it's very close. Approved, disapproved, 47%. I mean, so this is going to be a long and costly battle leading up to Election Day in November.
No, absolutely. And look, this is David versus Goliath. Let's not kid ourselves. I mean, the industry is going to spend a ton of money on this. This is going to be a classic people versus money. But up till now, look at East Boston. They were outspent 100 to 1. Yet the people of East Boston voted against that casino. So that I think that as the citizen grassroots ever mobilizes, as people realize this is not inevitable, that they realize this is Massachusetts. We can do better. And we have other opportunities. I think that's what the key will be, because the more people know, the less they support casinos. Even people who support them understand that they bring with them many other costs that are predictable and we're going to have to pay for. So I think, look, democracy, all we ask is the right to be heard. We don't have a right to have our way. We have to win this one, and we need everybody's support. And what I'm simply hoping is that now people will see it's not inevitable, that if you oppose this or you feel neutral about it, you have an opportunity to be heard. And I think that'll make a big difference no matter how this comes out.
Okay, so the commission, should they wait? They were supposed to, offer the Eastern Casino this summer, like July or August. Should they wait until after November, or does it not matter?
I don't see there's any reason why they should wait. They're waiting. I think actually they're waiting because they have other factors involved
that's true.
in this. That's not the reason that they're waiting. I mean, when you see another Globe story like we had the other day of, essentially turning over the casino to the Sopranos. I mean, and bada bing. I mean, come on. I mean, the more people, that's the kind of thing I think that concerns people. But I think what the Supreme Judicial Court decision made clear was something that this industry knew. In 2008, they made it very clear that if you have a license, that's not a property right. The state, through its police powers, can take that back. And the initiative petition then did exactly that with the Greyhound racing. So everybody who entered this industry took the chance. They made a bet, and here's what's interesting. They made a bet. Now they want to have their bet guaranteed, and the rest of us have to survive here. I think this is I think the Mass Gaming Commission should continue with its work, which it can. It may choose for various reasons to delay it, but not because of the concern about the repeal.
So just on the Wampanoag Casino, that's going to proceed no matter what, because that's a federal...
Well, it will if the federal thing is approved. I mean, as you may remember, 20 years ago as Attorney General, the fact was that as long as Massachusetts didn't change its gambling law, there could not have been a Native American casino in Massachusetts. The minute they passed that legislation, it opened up the opportunity for a casino. So to some extent, we're trying to have it both ways here in this. And I think that what I think is most important about this, Emily, and maybe it's not complicated. A, the people have the right to vote, and the Supreme Court really resoundingly said that's the case. Secondly, all the arguments about whether this is or not good for business are for the political process. And I think thirdly, the fact is, as we look around the country and look at Massachusetts, we have more assets. We can survive without this. But this David versus Goliath, it's the little folks here, and I sure hope people join us.
It'll be fun for the media for the next couple of months. So Scott Harshbarger, thanks for coming in. I should say that we did reach out to the proponents, but they're all at a meeting this afternoon, so couldn't make it here.
Right.
Thanks.
We're glad they're having to meet. That's
all right. Well, come November, it will be in your hands, so we want to know what you think. Should the casino law be allowed to stand, or will you vote to repeal it? Email us at greaterboston@wgbh.org, and we'll read some of your comments on the air tomorrow night.